show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Joe and Matt show. I'm Matt. That's Joe, of course.
You seem really fucking happy.
Yeah. It's
we should be happy because this review is about the movie Split.
It's fucking Split, yo.
And we have been looking forward to this movie for months.
Yes.
The trailers have been
Oh my god.
interesting. It's been awesome. This movie, holy shit, it lived up to the hype and surpassed it.
Yep.
I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was, honestly. The Split's basically about this character named Kevin.
Kevin,
who has
23 different unique personalities.
He has multiple personalities.
Casey, Marsha, and Claire.
Okay.
Casey, Marsha, and Claire, they all hop into the vehicle with
Claire's
father?
Claire's father, yes. So Claire's father goes and picks them up at the school.
Yep. They get into the car.
And the girls get into the car.
The father is putting away the
like food, leftover
cake
food that they're trying to bring
into
home.
the trunk.
And there's a big thump.
Yep.
Big thump.
Yep. Casey notices it.
Casey notices Marsha and Claire
they're
what?
They're Casey and Marsha and Claire, they're lollygagging in the back seat, and Casey sees that
the food's on the floor.
Food's on the floor.
There's some containers on the floor through the side mirror.
And someone gets into the driver's side of the vehicle, and she turns around slowly, and it's not the father. It's
Kevin.
It's Kevin.
So Kevin is just sitting there. He's literally just sitting there at first.
Yep.
Just looking so relaxed, like nothing's going on. Like this is normal.
Yep.
And he turns around slowly and just looks at Casey. Mm-hmm. And Casey's like, in her head, she's like, "Oh my fucking god!"
And then
Claire realizes that's not her dad, and she was like,
"Excuse me, you have the wrong car." After that, he proceeds to put on a mask, one of those that covers your mouth.
And he uses knockout gas to knock all the... First he knocks out Marsha and Claire in the back.
And then
he takes off the mask.
To try and escape. She slowly opens the car door. Manages to get it open. But then...
he just looks at her, he's like, really?
Well, no. After she opens it, you hear the audible noise of a door. And when the door opens...
yeah.
That noise. And, he looks at her.
He's like...
Puts on the mask again.
He puts on the mask slowly.
Sprays.
And sprays her. It was it was such a funny scene, because he was like... Yeah, remember that was kind of like a cabin-looking style, like with wood panels and everything like that. The girls wake up, and... Claire and Marsha are trying to let Casey know what's going on, like, get up. And then... Kevin,
Barry.
No,
Was it Barry?
No, it's Dennis.
Oh, Dennis, yeah.
So,
Dennis.
he has he plays basically multiple characters.
Mm-hmm.
The actor. So it's one person, but because of the disorder. So the personality Dennis walks into the room.
Mm-hmm. Dennis
is very intelligent. He's like very strict. Very
very astute.
Astute, yes, that's a good word for it. And he just looks around the room and he looks at Marsha and just like, "You're first." And he just basically comes and gets her,
grabs her,
and as he grabs her, pushes over her shoulder, pretty much, kind of, and Casey tells Marsha pee on him. So I was like, what? Why would she pee on him? I mean, assuming to get away from him. Mm-hmm. But, why specifically to pee on him? Which is really interesting to me, and why she said specifically. So, the first flashback is basically her eating lunch with her uncle and her father.
And for those of you that watch the Netflix show Orange is the New Black, the latest season, mm-hmm. You will definitely know this character. Piscatella, that fat fuck. Thinks he can fucking run the guards a certain way? No.
Really?
No. Piscatella is the uncle in this movie. I can't wait to see what he's going to get in fucking season 5. That's
okay, so back to the movie review. So, the next scene, it jumps to now Barry. Barry's another personality of Kevin. Mm-hmm. And Barry's is a fashion designer.
Yes, he's into fashion.
Yes.
He's like fucking Zoolander over here.
He's a fashion designer, and he goes and visits his
doctor.
Dr.
Karen Fletcher.
Dr. Karen Fletcher. And he basically shows her, like, designs for, like, clothing and
his
stuff.
Drawings and stuff.
And Barry, he was probably, I would say, my favorite personality that Kevin had. He was funny, he was uppity, he was kind of like a little sarcastic, kind of a smart ass, but it was funny. And I enjoyed seeing Barry on screen.
Yeah.
And he was very, innocent. He was just, a guy that was into fashion. And there's talking outside the room.
Yep.
Between two people. There's kind of like a, we can hear that was Dennis.
And a female.
Kind of like a female, almost like a female, with a British accent. And the female ends up being Patricia, which is Kevin's woman personality.
Yep.
And he walks in the room, and it was just a funny scene because the girls are like, "What the fuck is this? What's wrong with this guy?"
Yep.
And he has women clothing on. He has a dress on. He has a pearl necklace.
I think he had makeup.
And I think he had a little bit of makeup on.
Yeah.
But he did it so well.
Yep.
Like, he did it so well. Who have seen X-Men, the First Class movies, that trilogy. He was Professor Xavier, the young Professor Xavier. So, and he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that he will be nominated and should win. After that, they were introduced to Hedwig.
Yes, Hedwig.
Pretty much right after.
Yeah.
So, after that scene, we see basically Casey waking up again. Every scene a lot of the scenes seem to start with Casey waking up. She's obviously the main protagonist more than her friends are, more than Claire and Marcia. So you want to see what happens next.
So Hedwig is another one of Kevin's fine personalities. And Hedwig is a 9-year-old child.
Yes.
Who apparently was wearing red and blue socks.
Yeah.
Jesus. What was he talking to them about? He
was basically telling them how they're, well, the girls were trying to get him to, like, let them out.
Yes. Yes.
And we'll get them food and let them get out of there. Hedwig, his child personality, was basically telling them the boss or the man will
Dennis and Patricia
will get very mad at him if he lets them go, or if he gets them food and stuff like that. And he basically says that that they're coming for like Dennis and Patricia are coming for the girls. That they were trying to make the room secure.
Yes.
And that made Casey think that maybe there's a way out of the room itself without having to use the door. So they started knocking on the walls, and the girls found out that it's drywall. So as you know, for people who don't know, drywall is very easy to break, pretty easy to break, and usually there's some sort of vent in drywalls, but behind drywalls. So Claire was the one who found it.
Yes.
Yes, Claire starts knocking on the ceiling, and lo and behold, there's a vent there, this opening. Claire gets out.
Yep. She runs, and she runs into this little area that has lockers.
Yeah. And Dennis now comes out.
Yep, Dennis.
And starts chasing her, trying to find her. And obviously, eventually, he does find her.
Finds her. Tells her to come out of the locker. And then tells her to take off her shirt, because it is quite dirty. Which was a bit alarming. And then later on, down the line, we find out that the personality of Dennis likes to has a fetish that he likes to see girls dance naked.
Yeah, so we find out that's the reason why he keeps telling the girls to undress. Because the next scene is he tells Marcia to remove her skirt.
Yes.
And Casey to remove her blouse.
Yeah.
But then Casey gets a hoodie anyways to to cover herself. So Marsha's basically in her underwear. Claire's in her skirt and bra, and we find out how. I guess we can start seeing how sadistic some of these personalities can get.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, and then he puts Claire in a separate room.
Yes, he puts Claire in a separate room. Basically away because now he's starting not to trust the girls. Like tells you, says to Barry, you and the other 22, she starts talking about that. You and the other 22, so there's 23, and then starts saying, starts talking about Kevin and how is Kevin feeling, or Dennis, or Kevin needs Dennis, and Kevin needs all these personalities, Daisy, to survive, because Kevin was so traumatized as a
Patricia
child.
came back, and then they had lunch. She took Casey and Marcia
yes
have a little lunch, and then Marcia decided it was a good idea to hit Patricia with a chair, and then now she decides to escape. Then Patricia chases after her
with a knife,
with a butcher knife,
and holds it to her stomach.
Holds her to her stomach.
And
well, at that point, it looked like she was gonna gut her.
Yeah, I really thought that she was gonna stab Marcia. I thought Marcia was dead at that point. I really did. But
however,
she didn't.
Patricia spared her and puts her in a separate room. So now all three of them are separated.
Yes.
And are locked.
But the next scene is Hedwig. We see Hedwig wake up next to Casey in the same bed. And Casey starts to kind of
play with his mind.
Yeah. But it was almost like an emotional moment. Because you saw how innocent Hedwig was, this personality is. And Casey is starting to realize, like, this man is really sick. And she has experience with that because there's another flashback which shows that her uncle had the same problem. Her uncle also had multiple personality disorder. And we see that because the uncle was acts like a dog, like an animal almost. And then switches back to his normal self. So it was kind of an emotional moment, and Casey opens up to him a little bit because Hedwig is kind of trying to, he wants to get away from everyone, stay away from everyone, from school and stuff like that. And Casey kind of opens up to him. It's like, I know what it feels like to want to escape, to want to be away from people and be away from everything.
Which is why she purposely gets herself into detention.
Yeah, at school, but yeah.
So she can be alone.
Yeah. And, I kind of, I felt really bad at him at this point in the movie. I was like, damn, that would be such a hard life to have this problem. And at that point, yeah, it started to get a little emotional at that point, and this movie did not lack emotion at all. And I think that was one of the very few scenes. Well, it wasn't a lot of emotion, wasn't too much, but that was one of the few scenes that was a little emotional, and I really enjoyed that scene a lot.
It's just a drawing of a window that's open.
Yeah,
it's closed.
It's two drawings.
Two drawings.
One is open window. He flips it up, and it's a closed window. Or no, I'm sorry, it's reversed.
Yeah.
And then and Hedwig is
the most amazing part in that scene was he started rapping Drake.
Oh, that was fucking funny. Yeah. He starts rapping, he starts dancing, and it was so funny. It was hilarious. The whole theater was laughing. Yeah. It was such a funny scene. And we see that Hedwig is just a little kid. He's just an innocent little kid who's trying to have fun. And we see all these personalities, one's serious, one is sarcastic but funny, the other one's so innocent and funny. And it was so cool to see all that, honestly. Also, Hedwig also realizes during that scene that he realizes what Casey is thinking. He realizes that Casey is thinking, oh, there's a window, I can escape. And then he gets a little angry and frustrated with Hedwig. And he's basically saying, oh, I trust you, to not come in here and, and I want to show you something cool, but you know, you want to escape. I have to tell the boss, and the boss being Dennis and Patricia. And she finally calms him down, and Hedwig shows her the cool thing, which was
a walkie-talkie.
Walkie-talkie. That worked. It wasn't walkie-talkie. It was a radio.
Well,
it was kind of like a radio, like, you know, like if you go to a job, you know, if you go to a job and they all have radios to talk to each other in, and it worked. And she finds a connection on the radio that is going to an actual person. We don't know where this where she is. We don't know where this connection is going to, but there is a connection, and Hedwig realizes that, you know, what she's doing. And then Patricia comes out at this point. I thought it was Dennis at first, but it was Patricia because of the British accent.
Yeah.
So then Patricia basically takes Casey, takes the walkie-talkie, or the radio, and sends it back to Beast a lot more. And that's when I kind of figured out that the Beast was the 24th personality that he was supposed to gain during this movie. And obviously it sounds vicious to see him. At his house.
Wherever he...
wherever he is.
Yeah, wherever he...
He's keeping the girls. And he explains to Dr. Fletcher that he has already met the Beast. Something that she was dreading and hoping that it would never happen. And basically, Fletcher is getting like a little scared and wants to basically get out of there. But she has suspicions of maybe he's doing something illegal. So
she asks to use the bathroom, which he tells her, you know, it's down the hallway, first door on the right or whatever. She walks down there, and she notices a door, and she looks at the bottom of it, and she sees movement. So she unlocks the door, and she finds Claire on the floor. And Claire, I think, was drained of like energy or hallucinating because she was asking her if she's real or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we look at the perspective from in front of Dr. Fletcher, and we see Dennis or Patricia or whoever.
There was Dennis behind behind her.
And he has whatever, chloroform, whatever, to knock
the
out.
knockout gas. Again, whatever he has used on the girl. She looks, and she goes to the computer.
Yes, and she sees all these files on the desktop.
There's a bunch of files. There's basically every file of every single one of his personalities with a video recording of each single one.
And in one of them, she notices where he keeps the keys.
Yeah, because it's shown on the video where he puts the keys.
Yes. So she finds the keys, and then it pans to...
Dr. Fletcher again.
No.
Oh.
This, Kevin was in the train station with the flowers. Yeah. He sets the flowers down, doesn't get up, well, he gets on the train, and he transforms into the Beast.
Yeah, so basically...
And I'm not talking about Brock Lesnar here, folks. So
yeah, he goes to get flowers for, I don't remember even for who, to be honest with you. And then he starts, like, he takes off his shirt, and he looks like he's getting, like, he's gaining muscle.
He's physically transforming into
like this this guy, like he looks like he's but she says this disorder that these people have, it can possibly lead to the realm of the supernatural. And this is where, and it relates back to that because now Kevin is physically transforming. He's getting bigger. His muscles are growing in size. His veins are popping out. He looks like he's fucking jacked out of nowhere.
Looks like Alex Rodriguez.
Funny. So, and then he becomes this track star. Out of nowhere.
Usain Bolt took over his body.
He starts running through the train station, running across town, fucking fast.
Gets back to where he
Gets back to where he's keeping everyone.
And the good doctor has awakened at this
moment. And she's still, but she's very groggy, hazy from the knockout gas. And she stands up. Well, she kind of doesn't really stand up all the way. And she turns and she sees Kevin, or well, now he's the Beast, standing there. And holy shit, when they showed his full body, his veins were literally popping out of his body.
Yep.
And he looked like it was intense. It really fucked. If I was looking at that, I'd be like, I would be a little fucking scared.
Yeah.
Because it was insane how they transformed him so well too. And what do you know? He
bear hugs the shit out of the Doctor
from behind, and crushes her fucking spine like in half almost, and kills Doctor. And gets out of the room.
And while this is all happening, Claire and Marcia are figuring out a way on how to unlock their doors.
Yes, they use a hanger.
Yeah, Marcia finds a hanger. She manages to unlock the door. Casey unlocks her door, and she sees Marcia's door open.
Yeah, she goes into the next hallway, basically, where all the two girls are being kept.
She opens Marcia's door.
And Marcia's door is open, and she peeks through.
And Marcia dead, folks. Marcia's dead.
Her guts are out of her fucking stomach.
Yes.
The Beast, was actually eating another human being. It was fucking... Oh,
and then we go to Claire. Claire's alive, but then she gets dragged by...
She's hurt, though.
Into the
she
corner.
is hurt because he started to eat her. And then, like, she opens Claire's door and she looks, and Claire's, like, trying to reach out for her, and then gets dragged, turns around, and you see, like, an angle shooting towards Casey's full body. And just, like, kind of like a little blurred version of Claire's face, and you start seeing blood, like, kind of, like, pour out of her mouth, and you hear the, like, eating. And so we figure that he now is also eating.
Well, no, they didn't show her face. They showed him actually eating her.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
I remember seeing that.
They did.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, then they actually showed that. Maybe I didn't see that scene for some reason. Maybe I looked away. But, no, the Beast is literally a beast. He's eating human beings. Fletcher wrote was, basically was, if you say Kevin's full name, he will become Kevin again.
Kevin Michael Crumb.
Yes, Kevin Michael Crumb.
Oh no, Kevin Wendell Crumb, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, whatever it is. But he becomes Kevin again, and he snaps out of it, and it actually does work. Because we see the Beast coming, he goes into that same room, you kind of, like, see him, and she keeps screaming at him, and screaming his full name out, and it works. It works. His body, mass reduces, and he becomes Kevin again. And then he goes and sees, basically says, "What have I done? What happened here?" Because he realizes that he just killed Dr. Fletcher. And God knows what else. He doesn't know what he did. But just from seeing that, he figures that he did something really bad.
Yep.
So he tells Casey he has a shotgun and to kill him. And to just kill him because he knows, Kevin knows how bad he really is. But once his personalities take over again, that's it. And he was like a minute he was Kevin, and then boom, Dennis takes over again. So we see at this point how bad this man really is. He starts climbing on walls after becoming the Beast again. He can literally climb on the walls like he's fucking Spider-Man.
Yes.
And then he climbs on the fucking ceiling. Like, it was crazy.
So at this point, Casey has a shotgun. She bursts out of the room, runs down the hallway to where he had the shells, which was in his locker.
Yeah. And she keeps running throughout wherever they're being held.
And ends up at this...
kind of like a cage area.
Yes.
Like, it's just a big cage there. And so,
So she stops and she turns around and we see him climbing on the ceiling, knocking out the lights.
Basically to shadow himself. He pulls it open with so much fucking strength. It was incredible.
Yes.
And he says, "You cannot kill me." Like, with that. You can't kill me. And it's true. Casey shot this motherfucker with 2 shotgun buckshots One, like, near the heart, almost.
I think in the chest.
And one in, like, the kind of like a stomach.
Yeah.
Like, around like, his, you know, his stomach area, his abdomen. And he's fine. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, he gets, like, you know, backlash from it. But he gets up and he's like, nothing happened. Like, he brushed it off. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how the fuck is he still alive? But that goes to show you that the supernatural theory, it's real. That he's almost like a super body. And we know that it's from her uncle.
Yes.
Her uncle gave her those scars. And because of this disorder that he had.
And
still.
That one flashback was actually a bit early in the movie. The last flashback was...
Oh, yes, you're right.
The last flashback was him becoming her guardian now because her father died of a heart attack.
Yes, yeah. That's right. Mm-hmm.
So...
And
the Beast sees these scars and basically doesn't want to hurt her anymore. And then...
Yeah, because he says
something.
You're not pure.
Oh, no,
You're damaged. You're not pure.
Okay.
You're damaged. You're not pure. This is a glorious day. Mm-hmm. Basically, he doesn't hurt her because he knows that she's been through pain and suffering in her life.
Yes.
Unlike the two other girls that were pretty much given everything and never have gone through any sort of bad, like Casey has.
Yeah. Finds her.
Yeah.
And he takes her upstairs.
Yeah, he gets her out of the cage and takes her upstairs.
To the outside.
And as you go up the stairs, you start seeing animals.
Well, you hear them. And then you see them. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, they're in the Philadelphia Zoo.
Yes, they were being held in the Philadelphia Zoo, which...
Underground.
Yeah, which, it really connects in the movie in a lot of ways. Because the whole Beast persona, he probably got it from there. Because we found out that Kevin used to work in the Philadelphia Zoo. Yep. And that's where the radio came from.
Mr. Crumb.
Yes. The radio was connecting to the other that Kevin Crumb is...
in the diner.
Well, no, not yet. We see Kevin as the Beast still.
Oh, yes.
He ran away. He's in this, like, kind of, like, abandoned place, house, apartment, whatever it was. And he says... Now we'll show them how powerful I can really be. Mm-hmm. Which I hope that means that we're going to get a Split 2. Or the next movie in this trilogy.
Yes.
Because...
At the end, they're showing the news article, story.
The news story on television.
In the diner. And this lady is remembering that a similar situation, or something...
Yes.
Happened, and she can't remember the name of the person. And this man answers her. And it is Bruce Willis.
Yep, Bruce fucking Willis.
Bruce Willis, folks.
And who is he?
He, I don't know his first name, but his last name is Dunn.
Dunn.
Apparently, Dunn, and whatever happened to him was in a movie called Unbreakable.
Yes.
Which is also directed by...
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan. Which he is a great director.
Yeah. I didn't like Avatar. Honestly, I didn't think it was that good of a movie. But
I never saw Avatar.
He is a great director, and I was very confused at first. I never saw Unbreakable. I never saw it.
It's actually in Showbox.
Oh, it is. Okay, I never saw it. But then when I read about how the connection, goes...
It takes place in the same world.
Yeah, same universe. And I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Like, this is basically a sequel. And I hope...
Well, going to what you're about to say. I read an article where the next movie in this trilogy we'll see Dunn and Kevin pitted against each other or something like that.
Wow, okay. So, there you go. We're going to have a trilogy. I hope it goes through. Yes. And I heard Unbreakable was a great movie. I read reviews. I heard absolutely. The final verdict, what are you going to give it?
10.
10? You're going to give it a 10 yet? I'm going to give it a 9. The only reason I give it a 9 is because of what I just said. They should have elaborated on Casey's past a little better, and they should have elaborated on Kevin's past. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thanks for joining. Please like and subscribe to this video. And subscribe to our channel, I should say. And we'll see you guys next time on the Joe and Matt Show.